welcome to Enterprise Morning.
Right here on Enterprise Television. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I am Kende Bodri.
Thank you so very much for joining us today. Today, like we promised, would be another great day, and truly we would have a very fine conversation today. But please do well to be part of what we do, have a say in what we say. You can always find and reach us at enterprise@tvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms right here on Enterprise Television. We're very so honored to have with us, joining us via Zoom, Barrister Tunji Abdul Hamid, Barrister, Law Public Affairs Analyst. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so very much. And right here in our studios, we have Innocent Aduluba, journalist, public affairs analyst. Innocent, thank you so very much for being here.
Well, thank you, Harry. It shows I'm still keeping down my shirt. I've not been
looking deep as always. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much, gentlemen, for being here. So, Kende, let's kick off today with our first daily. What do we have?
Okay, on Punch, we have Awujale's burial frees Yoruba kings from ritual slavery.
Wow.
Yes.
So, just apart from that particular story, we have the big one here. Final salute. Nigeria beats Buhari. Emotional farewell. A couple of riders here, but on the bottom strip, what do we have?
Okay, on the bottom strip, we have Nigerians' oil output sold above OPEC quota. And
also North Central states mobilized to join security to crush bandits. But Barrister, I would love us to start with the Awujale burial. Frees Yoruba kings from ritual slavery. What does this tell us, Barrister? I understand the custom that comes with lots of things. You are a barrister, and I would love to believe you are in the best place to answer this. How do you think culture goes against our constitution, especially when a death is involved and so many other things that we might not find acceptable now?
I'm not so sure that there's anything in our constitution that make a traditional institution forbidden or illegal. I'm not aware of that. Even though we were talking about religion, you are free to exercise the kind of religion you want to exercise, and even including traditional religion. You see, what we have today is that we have a situation whereby people who want to become a traditional ruler, though still want to maintain their Christianity or Islamic practice. You have to take one if you want to, because our traditional institution is known to be part of to be known with Iseshe, what they call Iseshe, okay. And that's a traditional right. So, and that's why you hear that whenever another is to be appointed, they tell you Ifa appointed as picked so person. If you are picked by Ifa, you must do the bidding of Ifa or whatever they want to do that has to do with tradition. It must be done by you. So, if you want to practice your religion purely as a Muslim or as a Christian or in another form, you have to forgo the traditional title and say, look, I cannot do it because I can't do this. But even though sometimes we have a situation today where those who have become king are not appointed or picked by Ifa, and that's why some of them are able to say, look, I will not practice it because they were not chosen by that tradition. So traditional institution in Nigeria is becoming something else. It has been polarized. The religion, Christianity and the Islamic religion has taken over those who are, if you become born again as a king or whatever, probably you have to relinquish the traditional title or the stool for you to be able to practice your religion properly. So if you want to practice your religion properly and you want to be a traditional ruler, there will be conflict. There's no way there will be conflict. So I am aware that most of those who are called chiefs, who are traditional rulers, they must have from Ishese or the other that they will go through, or traditional rites or ritual that they will go through. So if you can't accommodate that, you better not do it, not get into it.
Wow. Well, it's a very difficult call, actually, Kende, because right now lots of people are either Christians or Muslims, and they're very so addictive to that. But the question is, would they leave that? Innocent Aduduba, I know of a king in the southwest of Nigeria. I wouldn't want to mention him exactly, but he is you know too well, he is a good member of the Knight of St. Mulumba. And he is the king of the community. And whenever they call for the traditional rites, he is there. At the same time, he visits the church. But do you think in today's civilization, do you think we can really have an authentic leader, traditional ruler, who would go with the tenets of the tradition without having this other one he has taken over him?
Well, it's dicey. It's dicey because traditional institutions preceded the arrival of European religions. Allow me to call them European or Arabic religion, whether Christianity or Islam. But there were three credible voices that are, let me say, undisputable. Oluwashina Ogungbade, SAN, is the Attorney General and the Commissioner of Justice in Ogun State. He was also there to stand by what took place at the behest of the Governor Abiodun, who insisted that the late Awujale had insisted he should be buried according to Islamic rites.
Yes.
He died on Sunday and was buried on Monday. I'm very proud of that because lately, as a Christian, I'm beginning to wonder if the Islamic burial rite vary from elites to commoners. Previously, you just hear a Muslim is dead and quickly is buried. I used to tell people in Christendom, why don't we do this? Why do we hide behind one culture and make people who cannot afford certain things to bleed, running around?
Just to bury someone
that's
already dead.
With due respect, a valueless body. All of my value are there when I'm alive. Whatever ceremony you do when I've breathed my last is valueless, And then to give credence from the traditional side, the Oluwo of Iwo, Oba Abdul Rashid Akombi also described the process like, freeing Yorubas from cannibalization of burial during the passing of a traditional monarch, so to speak. I would like to pay direct tribute to Oba Adetono because last year I was with him at the Ojude Oba in my capacity with my previous employer. The Ojude Oba, the brand, the food and beverage manufacturers are great supporters of that Ojude Oba, and Oba Adetono is always an ever-present personality.
Okay.
All right, beautiful.
That brings me to this question. Do you see these as a turning point for other Yoruba monarchs and traditional institutions across Nigeria?
Yes. So, barrister.
So do you see this as a turning
For me,
point?
like I said earlier, I will repeat myself because if you are made the king by virtue of Ifa, and when you have been crowned as the king, all the traditional rites were performed, and you now assumed the throne. You now said, "No, I will abandon this. I will not be doing it again." You know before you go into it that this is the practice and this is what they do. So if you are not interested in it, if you cannot abide by it, why not leave it? But for those who can abide by it. So for me, I do not see any bondage in them. I see a smart person here who wants to just play smart. He wants to eat his cake and have it back. He wants to become king and he doesn't want to go through the rigorous or tradition of what they call a king. Because like I said, I am aware, or except they are telling us lies, there is no king that will be appointed or in the Yoruba land that they will not say he was chosen by Ifa. So if you are chosen by Ifa and you accept to take the throne based on Ifa's recommendation or appointment, you have to abide by it. If you become a born again, you have to relinquish it and say, "Look, I'm not a born again. I can't go ahead with this. Therefore, I am leaving my throne." That's the only thing I think you can do. Except you want to say, "Look, henceforth, the issue of tradition in our traditional institution should be eradicated. That is should no longer be available." If except that happens, and I'm not sure that can happen because we have just like as we have a Christian and Islamic religion, we also have people who are
traditional
practitioners. We have people who are not free thinkers. We have so many other people who are, and everybody is free there is no any religion recognized by our law. So whatever you practice as your religion is your religion, in as much as you are not committing crime in it.
Yeah. But to just add a little, I agree with Barrister Tunji. It's conflicting, like you have mentioned one of the nights. It's conflicting for one religion to overlap into another in a situation like this that pertains to a particular traditional stool. It's either you relinquish one and accent the stool to practice what the other. But I think there are infringements on our constitution that are hushed under the carpet. It's common knowledge that in many religions you don't bury a king alone. The people you are burying with the king, are they willing? Did they volunteer to be killed? So and that if that could I can call
and do our constitution permit it? Because that is more like a mother, first degree or third degree mother.
No, but I just said they are hushed under the carpet. You see, when I was a boy living in let's be careful now. But when I was a boy, let me not name the town, we are usually told that a king has passed. Stay at home. They are looking for heads to use to accompany the. So once it's like 5, 6, you are home. If you are not, and around 8, 9, 10, 11, you already will say anything. If you do anyhow. And then, look, we must mention here that somebody like the former Governor of Oyo State, Rashid Ladoja, is warming up to become the next Olubadan. He even postponed his coronation so that the mourning period of the for his predecessor will pass. I'm sure, like Barrister Tunji has said, somebody at Rashid Ladoja's age and status will know what is felt to be the demands
to take over
for that stool. So you don't get there like you say and say you just got born again. Good, congratulations. Leave the seat for somebody else who can dispense of the. This is a traditional institution, and like I said before, prehistoric for the advent of foreigners on our soil, our traditional religions existed.
Of course, and we must give credence to that. Barrister, I would love us to go to, yes.
Let me also add
Please
that
do.
it's debatable.
All right.
This issue we are talking about, it only applies in most of the southern part of the country, particularly southwest. Because in my own town, Ilori, we have traditional rulers. That we don't have all this kind of tradition. We install our emir in line with Islamic law, Islamic practice.
Injunction, yeah.
So, and that's what I'm saying. If you are from the southwest and you know the kind of, or from other part of the country, where you know that there are certain things that they will do that is in conflict with your religion, you better not take it. You lobby for it. When you know these are the things that will happen it. When you got it, or after getting it, you now realize that it's making you like, I don't see any conflict here. And again, I'm not sure that our law, or is maybe because of the practice, that traditional institutions are based on a share or religion or certain practice. That's why, because I'm not aware that there's any law that says a traditional ruler must perform the ritual rites or anything. It is their culture. So if your culture is about that practice, and you know this practice conflicts with your religion, you don't accept it. That's my point.
Very true.
I'm not saying I'm not saying the kind of thing they do is supported by me. I'm not saying so. They are saying that if you know that this will not be well with you, this will affect your own belief. Don't take it.
Very true, Barrister. Just before I allow you rest on that particular submission, I'd love you to continue with this one. Final salute: Nigeria beats a Buhari emotional farewell. Unfortunately, it has been politicized. Lots of people, especially with the APC, are already going to the streets, to the marketplace, everywhere to say that Atiku Abubakar and Peter Gregory Obi were missing during the funeral, and therefore that the northern part of Nigeria would decide when the right time comes. Do you think it was necessary?
No, but Atiku was.
That is not necessary. That is not required to win election. Attending a burial of a late president is not a requirement, and it's not what you need to win an election. I'm not. But from what I was reading yesterday from a particular channel that I watched it, because I watched the program live, I saw them say the article in attendance too. Whether it's not there, I don't know. But even if it's not there, we don't know where he is. We don't know what happened. We don't know whether he's also not even available in the country or whether something else happened to him. I don't know. So whether or not they are there, I don't see that as part of the electoral criteria to determine who can rule. Those who are there, even when the man was alive, what was their attitude to him? These are the people who are making him look like somebody. All the respect he has, they rob him because they said he ruined our economy. These are the same people today who are pretending or showing as if they care more about him. When he was alive, they were not speaking well of me.
Yeah.
So how can you now, after death, you now come and start doing as if you care more? Okay. You see, it's not politics. It should not be politics, and it should not be politicized. I don't see absence of anybody at the burial as a reason to say it should not be voted for. I don't think so. That's not a grant to vote or not to vote for anybody.
Very true. Innocent Aduluba, on that particular case, we had lots of people who were good enemies of President Buhari. Reno Omokri was one of those that traveled to London. I remember very so vividly. He went and asked Buhari to come back home. Now he is working with the APC. He hasn't said anything since the president died, though he has been, of course, he's a very good friend of Peter Obi, bickering here and there, saying that Peter Obi, he was one of those actually that said Peter Obi didn't make it to the funeral, forgetting that he was one of those that really, took a big swipe on Muhammad Buhari.
Well, I am aligned with Barrister Tunji. Attendance at a funeral is not a yardstick for being voted for. I think I watched yesterday, I can attest to that, and I saw His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, unless that shot was not taken from Daura, with El Rufai, some close in.
Really?
Yes, I watched that on TV. I didn't see Peter Obi, but like Barrister Tunji is telling us, if Peter Obi is competent to be voted president, not attending a funeral does not take anything away from him. I don't think the core duty of an elected president is attending a funeral. Two, I'm wondering if Reno Omokri is a self-anointed gatekeeper that takes attendance of who came and who did not come. Are we to care or bother with the roll call from Reno Omokri? What good does that do us in the first? I would rather think that Reno, now an employee of the APC or thereabout, is the one obligated to be there. I don't know if he was there in person.
No, you can't. He won't be there.
So he is the one more obligated to be there, if you ask me, than an opposition figure like the former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi. But be that as it may, President Buhari is a man who greatly divides opinion and will be remembered on both sides of the coin. I think people would rather remember President Buhari the way they interacted or perceived him. People he put to death, the families have how they will remember him.
Yes.
People who died at the NSAS, they were banning of Twitter. Twitter was a means of livelihood as a remote source of people have how they will remember him.
And the Naira colorization.
People will know how to remember him like that. And then those he favored would choose how to remember him that way. So in Nigeria, the myth exists of you don't speak ill of the dead, but you cannot shove perception down people's throats because public opinion is difficult to come up against. Buhari has not been like, what's my word, our most engaging, most adventurous president. I would say he is Nigeria's most nepotic president, most monocultural president, and most recluse of presidents. Presidents are meant to be out there engaging, interacting, not so, and he spent a lot of time on the sick bed. There was a time he was away for straight 90 days.
It was even rumored that he had died in 2017.
Exactly.
You know, let me say it here. Yesterday, a 14-year-old saw me watching television in the afternoon when they came to my house and asked me, sir, isn't the president announced dead before? If 14, 15-year-old. And that tells you, I mean, how emboldened Nigerians can be to politic with life that comes from God. You know, so that's an aside from the core topic. But I mean, like you said, some have rumor. So that kind of rumor, this child is about 15. About 2 years back, the child will be younger. Yes. And that rumor got to that child. You can imagine how they say no fire without smoke or no smoke
without fire.
So God rest his soul. He just tells that man's life is finite. There is a start, there is an end. May we, by the grace of God, and focus for the value of life and humanity, give our best with the time we have.
Definitely. That cannot be better said. Barrister, let's take a look at all the matters here just before we wind up for this particular segment. That is on the Guardian newspaper. We have Senate declines Natasha's recall, insists no binding order. Please help us make sense of this, please, Barrister.
I think if they took that stand, they are right. With due respect, the judgment is I don't even know what to call it. It's not even a judgment as far as I'm concerned.
Really?
The judge was not bold enough to call a spade a spade. He was just dancing around the ground. He was giving a judge, when a judge is giving a judgment or making an order, it's not by way of opinion. What she did was to say is of the belief. He didn't say the Senate hereby order to recall her. They say I am of the belief that she should be recalled. So in other words, at the discretion she left it at the discretion of the Senate to determine whether or not they will recall her. And that's why they are pouncing on that. There is no direct order. I agree with them. I've read the certificate copy of the order. There is no direct order asking them to recall her. What the court did was to give an opinion or his belief that she should be recalled. So the belief that she should be recalled means that they were not giving any mandate or any order or directive. They were just at their discretion. They have the right to. He said, I confirm that the Senate has the power to discipline their member, and thereafter he went further to say, I am of the belief that she should be recalled because the way her manner, she was the number of months or whatever suspension that was given to her was too excessive. So she didn't say directly. She was neither here nor there. That's just the truth. She did. That for me, with due respect, does not even qualify as judgment. As far as I'm concerned. If we are to do, if it's an exam and you are asked to, and you are given a case study and you are asked to write a judgment in it, if you write it in that manner, you will fail. That's my point. Because I'm telling you, you will fail because you are not dancing. You did not address the issue. She just did it as if she was preparing affidavit. That's what she did.
Okay.
If this is coming from Barrister and the whatever it is was made from the court of law, who are we to dispute some of these things?
Yeah.
Speak to me.
One of the things I respect the APC for is their efficient use of their high caliber college of lawyers. Barrister Tunji, I dare say, is not in their fold. Yet he has acclaimed and acknowledged, what has come out. A verdict is spoken with a tone of finality, and the gavel seals it. So in this case, that verdict is not complete. It's open-ended. And from what he has told us in research, it's still a hypothesis. It's open-ended. But I will come from the political, since Barrister efficiently trashed it from the legal side. My political side is, I think it was in February. Wasn't it in February that Natasha was suspended?
Yes.
Was this January or February?
Between
I know that the case coincided that time with the Lagos speaker.
Oh, Basa.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So let me say, I'll say February. I might be wrong. There's no need to rush. It was 6 months that was. I mean, we are almost there. So if a few weeks to the, we are now getting edgy. If I were Natasha, having survived over 5 months, what's there in a pidgin English will say, I don't see 99. What is in 100, you know?
The problem is that the matter is still pending in court, and the Senate will say, as long as the matter is still in court, they will not recall her. That is the point, because both Natasha and the National Assembly and the Senate have gone back to court. Natasha has appealed, although the appeal by Natasha has nothing to do with the suspension.
Yes.
The appeal has to do with the contempt verdict against her. Why that of the Senate was to the fact that, look, the court has no power to do what they did.
So does that mean it might extend beyond six months? Does that mean it might?
It might too.
Really?
Because the way I see it, the Senate is not ready to recall her, so they'll be looking for one excuse or the other to extend it. They don't want. They want him to just. They want her. They want to force her to render apology, so that they will not say we are right.
But isn't that an abuse of the rule of law? What happens to her constituency? Which means her constituency is being deprived of what is due them.
We are in Nigeria. It's an abuse of power. And people in authority in Nigeria, they know how to abuse their power and they go through with it. And I just told you one before, while we are offline, that I look at the program, the burial of a former president yesterday, and I see former governors, I see present governors, I see the president, and I see some of them who have made law in their states prohibiting burial of a dead body or corpse in a residential premises. And they were seated yesterday when the president was doing his own, when the former president was being buried. If that were to be one individual who is not a former president, probably by this morning they would have arrested them and said they did something wrong. So that's the country we have. We have a country where those in authority are not bound by the law, not because the law says so, but because they practice it in that manner. The law did not say so. That because some people will say we have two laws. No, we don't have two laws. We have one law, but implementation are different. Those who are supposed to implement are implementing differently. When they want to implement it, if it has to do with a big man or somebody with authority, it will be a different form. If it's somebody without authority, it will be a different form. That's the country we have. So the autocratic system we are running. And that's why I said I have always maintained that we are not running democracy. We are doing civilian rule. The features of democracy are not present in our system today. What the feature of democracy, if you are running democracy, rule of law must be sacrosanct, and nobody must be above the law. So are we seeing that today? So for me, I'm not surprised, and I will not be surprised if they refuse to recall her, even after the expiration of the 6 months, especially when the matter is still in court. That would be their excuse.
Well, that's a very bad one. Kenny, what do we have next just before we leave for today?
Okay, we have Dangote faults capital flight, insists on investing in Nigeria. So, Barrister, what do you think about...
I think let's have Innocent on that one just before we get to Barrister. Close up for today.
Well, congratulations to Nigeria. We have created the ability of our capital to develop wing and fly. Where other climes, you see places that are intentional about development. Let's come down to, say, India, Singapore, Thailand, Brazil, are gathering capital. Let's use the word trapping capital to do its job within their enclave. Our capital, Henry was here once, one of the shortest routes is by application for American visa. You apply, you are not granted, your money has gone.
Yes, sir.
No refund. A set of people like me and you consciously save, borrow to Jackpa. That's capital flight. Rich Nigerian politicians prefer having their industries out there. Some of them with alleged stolen government funds. You know, you want to have refinery in Malta, or anything out there. Lots of them run some of the largest real estates in Canada, US. So, I mean, like Barrister already said, I don't even think the capital flight is for the ordinary. It's those that have the capacity and possibly in the top echelon of access to massive resource control that are engendering this. And in all of these, we remain hopeful for the naira to gather muscle against the dollar. I don't know where the political miracles or political mystery, I don't know which one. But for where we sit, look at some of the analysis we have on the table, stemming from democracy, rule of law, where this rule of law is sacrosanct. The law can compel the mighty and powerful to retain capital in Nigeria, and the circulation will open more economic spaces, and the naira can breathe and possibly grow at its margin. Maybe
very true. Barrister, let's have yours on this particular one, but I would love you to add this if it's possible. Do you think this is because of Dangote is protected, hugely protected by the Nigerian system and the institution that we have, that he is saying some of these things? Realistically, we all know how business run in this country. You invest £1 billion in this country, in less than 6 months, what will be remaining is half of it, because half has gone to several things you don't know why they are going to: power, electricity, lost road. You have to do all of that for yourself before you even start doing the business itself. So do you think Dangote is saying this because he is immune to some of these realistic issues that we have?
You see, when what we have in our country, I don't know why we always talk about Dangote or blame Dangote for one thing. But Dangote is a businessman. He's not part of the government, and as I know, a businessman is free to do his business the way he likes. If he likes, he can say he's shutting down his refinery tomorrow. If he likes, he can say I'm transferring my refinery to, if it's possible, to another country next tomorrow. It's not be our concern. What I see in the country today, we want to control Dangote, how he will run his business. It's not possible. We have made him give him the opportunity to have a monopoly of our system, of our businesses, and then we have to deal with it. The government has run. You see, bearing in mind again that Dangote was able to even achieve his refinery because of the support of the government.
Yes,
he has so much support from the government that it was easy for him to get it done. But the same government is unable to do his own. So if you don't have all these things in place, and Dangote is doing it the way he likes, and we are complaining or we are making issue out of it, I don't see how it concerns us. It is his business. It is the law. He has the discretion as to how he wants to run it, as long as it's not against the law. I have not seen anything that's against the law in what Dangote is doing today. So if he like, he can even say my refinery and my fuel will now be 30,000 naira per liter. It's our choice to either buy or not to buy. So we can't control him on how he will do his business. So whatever we are talking about today now, as far as I'm concerned, I don't see how Dangote will be is to be blamed for anything that has happened. I blame the government. We have NNPC, it's not running. We have spent trillions of naira or billions of naira in the name of turnaround maintenance. Yet nothing is turned around, and yet people are becoming multi-billionaires or in dollars from the same company that is moribund. So as far as I'm concerned, Dangote is enjoying the corrupt system that we have. He's enjoying the non-working system that we have, and he's utilizing it perfectly. Just like somebody was able to take it, grab it, and run away with it. He's taking it, he's grabbing it, and he's running away with it. Because today, nobody is. I'm not sure anybody is. Maybe probably they say somebody is also building a refinery somewhere. I'm not too sure.
Yes, Buhari.
He's today we can't. Yeah, we can't escape it. Dangote has a right to do whatever he wants to do in his business, and that's my take.
Yes, very so well. We want that marketers will start a protest against Dangote because he is moving to crashing cooking gas prices. 12.5 kg gas right now is sold for 12,000 naira.
Some are even selling for 15.
Yes, so Dangote is hoping to crash that to 8,000, between 8,000 and 10,000 naira, which is good for Nigerians.
Yes, it is.
But unfortunately, we have marketers who are saying they no go agree, they no go agree.
Wait,
That they have to sell it for more than that.
if I must butt in here, the economy is seething at this time, and so when the masses hear that a price is coming down,
That's what we that's what we expect.
So, like a barrister said, it's a what's it called? Free economy.
Yeah.
How has Dangote? Who has he offended by crashing? I mean, he has reduced the margins. It's marginal profit now, rather than it being so large. He has reduced the margin. Henry, if you and I know where Dangote's gas stations are, so that's where we will go and buy from.
Definitely.
So what was the local standing of the marketers rather, that the price shouldn't go down?
Well, they feel that they have invested so much already. Yes.
To an extent, let me come in.
Please do.
Probably because if they be supplied with product by Dangote, it will be unfair to crash it just like that. Because if let's assume Dangote supply me with I got a supply from Dangote today, and it was at 850 naira per liter, for instance, and the next morning he crashed it to 800 naira. How do I survive it? Who will bear the difference? That is the complaint they are making. But it's unfortunate that is the situation we find ourselves. Do you get my point?
Yes, very well.
So he cannot, because he has taken 50 naira extra from them a day before, and the next day he dropped it, and people will expect that person to also sell at 800 naira, or he will not even be able to sell, because people will go to where they are getting they will get it for 800 naira. Well, indirectly he has run that business into a debt. Probably that's their complaint.
No, but
this
story is different.
Yes, well, just like we always say, and the barrister had equally stated here, a free economy is what we want. A Buhari refinery is coming up in Akwa Ibom State. What Nigerians want basically is get this product available.
I tell you, there won't be any rivalry.
No, really? Oh, so they might be in cahoots to
benefit of them. They know how to communicate. They not nobody will. They know how to work together as a businessman. If I'm telling you, they know how to collaborate and make sure that the price does not go beyond below a particular figure.
Wow.
And you see them as competing.
Yes, very, very true, because we've seen that with sugar. Both of them produce sugar, and till now, sugar is still very, very high. But we would leave it at this particular point, people. Barrister will be here, and Innocent also, to take us on our main conversation. That is when we return. Wike warns Okpebholo. Probing Obaseki is a distraction and a waste of time. That is in a bit. It's still Enterprise Morning. Please don't go anywhere.
enterprise conversation. And now this is the main conversation. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, has advised Edo State Governor Monday Okpebholo to avoid launching a probe into the administration of his predecessor, Godwin Obaseki. Speaking during a visit to the state, Wike said pursuing such investigations would yield little benefit and distract from the urgent task of developing Edo. He emphasized that the state's resources and time should instead be channeled into impactful governance. Wike noted that if anyone had a reason to seek retribution against Obaseki, it would be him, citing the political betrayal he experienced after backing Obaseki's re-election bid. I quote, "If it were in his power, he wouldn't be governor today, but God has given it to whom he wills," he said. Despite past grievances, Wike urged Governor Okpebholo to move on for the sake of Edo's progress. The minister also publicly apologized to former Governor Adams Oshiomhole for the role he played in supporting Obaseki during a time of political tension. Still on it, "I emulated you while supporting Obaseki and I have apologized publicly. I am still sorry," Wike said.
And to continue on that particular story, he said Okpebholo should let go of the past, saying Obaseki and his allies should be left to carry their burden while the current administration focuses on delivering tangible results to the people. We still have Barrister Tunji Abdul Hamid Innocent Adoluba right here on our station. Thank you so very much, gentlemen, for being here. Let's get talking on this particular matter. I'd love to start with you, Innocent Adoluba. You've had the reportage that we have. Nyesom Wike went visiting to commission transit buses, I love to believe, but it didn't hold because of the burial of the president. But according to his media aide, Larry, who was the one that actually communicated this, and what was your take on that?
Well, maybe I will start with the commissioning not holding.
Okay.
I mean, Minister Nyesom Wike is a very close ally of President Tinubu. And so in the wake of President Buhari's death, even if this date was fixed, there was a notice for the public holiday and the rest. So you mean Minister Nyesom Wike was already in Benin?
Yes, he was supposed to be in Benin.
But he didn't go.
He didn't go because of the burial that was fixed.
Okay, that's fine. So the commissioner has been postponed. Yes. But where I'm going to is the chameleon nature of Minister Nyesom Wike. Notice that Governor Emeritus Obaseki is of the PDP fold. Is this protectionist of Wike? Is his PDP blood protecting Obaseki from a probe?
Oh, is that a Trojan horse you're saying here?
You know, Minister Nyesom Wike is chameleonic now.
Oh.
We all know that he is an acclaimed PDP member.
Yes, still.
Hobnobbing nicely with the APC government. So, is he speaking, I'm asking, to protect a fellow half-brother now?
I catch your drift.
From a probe. Is he also helping his foster brother, his foster APC brother, Okpebholo, to focus on governance and not be distracted? Because probing a predecessor sometimes it satisfies many people, or sections of people. So and that's where President Obasanjo retired is famous. He will tell you, take the message, leave the messenger. The message is good. Governor Okpebholo is new, his hands are full. It's like when Rehoboam succeeded his father Solomon, he was at crossroads of how to govern because his father had left a big lacuna. Since Okpebholo came in, Uromi killings, I mean, things not befitting for a young governor coming in. So the advice may be vital. Face governance. Let bygones be bygones. But I'm asking, in what political complexion is Minister Nyesom Wike speaking. Notice that in our time, Wike can be both Negro and albino
and Caucasian
at the same time.
Barrister, I would love you to really, because Innocent actually shed a light here that is very so interesting. That Nyesom Wike asking Okpebholo not to probe Obaseki was because he still feels that blood, that PDP blood still remains. And we all know that blood is thicker than water. Do you really see it from that perspective, Barrister?
Yeah, because they are all politicians, it may be possible, because Mr. Wike is still not in ambition of becoming a president and of going higher in politics. So he believes that maybe he do not see how probing a former governor will be a distraction. I do not see it. I do not see it. I do not even see how, I don't even know why the governor must announce that he wants to probe the last administration for us to know that it's actually probing. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
I don't need for that. It's just being politicized. If you are coming in as a governor, you have the responsibility of looking at the account, and if there is something that is not proper or that needs clarification, you can call people, and it's not going to be your job. It's not even going to be your job. It is the job of those who have been assigned to do it. The governor will not be participating in investigation. There are people who will be doing that responsibility. So how will it distract the governor? Except they are doing it politically. If they are doing it genuinely, it's a normal responsibility, with or without any. Even if it's not even if they are in the same party before he came in, he must look at the book and ask questions on things that are not regular or that are not normal. But in our own country, we take everything as politics and we politicize it. If you're an MD of a company and you are coming in and you are looking at the book and you realize that these things are not 2 things or 3 things that does not gel, you call people and then ask questions. And if they can't answer, you invite the appropriate authorities to investigate them. And that's all. So what I think you should do is to ensure that the books are looked into. And if it's looked into by those that will look into it, because it's not the government that will be looking into it. So I don't see how it will distract him.
But Barrister, if I might ask, sorry for interjecting, do we have a historical case where a probe of ex-governors was carried out and something was received or achieved out of it?
In Nigeria.
I was coming there. I'm saying probably that is the reason why Minister Wike is saying you should just focus. Because probably he is aware that nothing will come out of it. But I'm saying even if nothing will come out of it, the governor will not be involved in the investigation. The governor will not be involved in looking at the books. The governor will not be involved in knowing what has happened. And it's not only the governor that was part of the system. There are other people in that system, commissioner, this and that. Some of them are even working with him now. There's no way you will look at the book that Philip Shaibu will not come
definitely
in the picture.
Yes, he would be involved.
There are some people who are
very true.
Not working. Those are the reasons why those reports would not even see the light of the day. Because other people, the new account or verification or investigation, most of the people who are working with the governor today will be fingered. So, and probably because Mr. Wike has looked at all this and realized that even if you are able to do this investigation, nothing will come out of it. Just leave it and move on. And that's our system in Nigeria. We leave people who have done. Have you seen any former president being even mentioned, talk less of being investigated or being invited by anybody for any question? There is no questioning about that. So it's like an unwritten what's it called? Agreement that we must not question or ask questions from the former president. And in some states where governors have been asked questions, it's because they are not on the same page politically. Once they align and become on the same page politically, that investigation is gone and they will throw it out. So we don't have sincerity in what we are doing. If there is sincerity in the probe, I don't see how it will affect the governor, the current governor. Sincerity. If there's no sincerity, it's when you'll be distracted because you'll be doing what he's not supposed to do, and those people will not be challenging, and then it won't even distract. How will it distract? Even if they file cases in court, is it the governor that will go and be defending the cases? It's not the governor that will be going there. He can be doing his own job and leave that. So I don't see how looking into the books of the past administrations or governors or president or whatever will affect governance, except we are not sincere with ourselves.
Very true.
Very true. But I think Barrister has even said it all, you know, concerning this particular story.
Yeah.
Because I feel that even if Wike wants to, Mr. Wike, I beg your pardon, even if he wants to, you know, have an edge, there are some things that he would even do, you know, because probing Okpebholo is not even, I would say, is not really the main priority.
Obaseki, sorry.
Yes.
Probing Obaseki.
So I think he should just put his energy into
making things better.
Matters,
yes, because of course there are lots of allegations here and there. Just like a barrister say, Philip Shaibu equally questioned why Obaseki would use the state's money to build a mall. We all know the popular name to a particular mall all over the country, that he used the state money to build it and all. But let's take a look at, you did say it so rightly, you put it, the chameleon nature of Nyesom Wike, and it's been there for a very long time. All the people that had helped Nyesom Wike, from local government chairman that he was in Obiapo, to the commissioner, to the minister, to the state governor, to the maybe FCT minister. He's yet to have rift with President Bola Tinubu. But down the line, he had problems with all the people that had helped him in one way or another. The question is, why then is it difficult for current day politicians like President Bola Tinubu to know that this same person might railroad them? Abati said that Nyesom Wike would one day call out President Bola Tinubu. The question then is, why is it difficult for current day political leaders to see through the lens and know this man is not worthy enough for them to play with?
Well, Barrister Tunji has been using the word, that's politics. That's Nigerian politics. Politicians live for the moment. So as we are now, there has been no rift brewing between Minister Nyesom Wike and President Bola Tinubu. So you don't need to forecast trouble and start unsettling each other at the moment. You wait for that time. And political crises are usually not unforeseen. They don't happen by accident. As regards calling out, Barrister Tunji, a lawyer, a seasoned one, has also told us that sometimes, I mean, when they get to that point, they know how to politically turn some solid into cloud, and it goes away, you know. Then another insight to that is that Minister Nyesom Wike, you look, politics is not righteousness. Minister Nyesom Wike used to have a great ally, PDP-wise, in Governor Obaseki and Governor Samuel Otom. Before the days of this election fractionization of the PDP, and everybody chose. We don't know if that, there was a time, if there is crisis in any state, all you need to use to solve it is for Governor Nyesom Wike as a Rivers to visit that state.
Yes.
In many instances, he saved Cross River crisis. He single-handedly funded them.
Because that was actually what he said, that Obaseki should never forget how he saved his second-term bid.
Yes, he did.
That it was him, literally, that made it possible.
Yes, I was going there.
Even when President Bola Tinubu said they should not vote, you know, for him and all, and he got the vote.
I'm going there. So, from Cross River, you saw what happened in Edo, and that warranted in your report a direct apology to Senator Adams Oshiomhole, because at the time, Wike was warring with Oshiomhole in the battle to preserve Obaseki's second-term smooth sailing. So, Wike, we should admit, within the terrain of Nigerian politics, to be a clever politician. If tomorrow that moment comes and he calls out President Tinubu, I mean, I would ask, big deal. Where President Tinubu is now, he is sitting pretty. And Barrister Tunji has already told us, we don't have the leverage of a neutral and efficient system of a rule of law. If that existed, when you call out anybody, the person will be jittery. already we know that this government has largely, by Ratonji could tell us, taking care of judiciary quarters here and there. So when you are, and the slogan of this government, one way or the other, is go to court. So when Wike's daybreak comes, he is calling out President Tinubu. They are going to that court. And there's a lot of political miracles in Nigerian court. So I think, like I started, politicians in Nigeria live the moment. And that is why, to a large extent, defection has not been criminalized. Barrister told us, the people who are efficient at, let's use the word, distracting themselves with this probe, are those who and their predecessors are not on the same party platform, so to speak. So you think you are smearing and exposing that person. You know, but as it were, Barrister could tell us the constitution is very pliable. They will tell you when somebody's party is having crisis. I think, as a non-lawyer, I think any elected person who leaves one party for another has renounced his toga of election. If I was elected under a label, the masses saw label A, rejected it, and voted me in label B. I got into office, rejected label B, and joined label A. I think Nigeria's constitution should criminalize defection at any level of an elected political office holder. No, whether your party is on fire, stay there and quench it. You know, so all of this smacks, and that's where Wike is in limbo. And this is the first limbo I know as a human being that is viable. Wike, to many people, is neither in APC, nor and he's surviving nicely. You know,
he knows how to please.
You know, so no, he's delivering the political goods that renders him permanently or momentarily relevant. And that's why I say politicians live the moment. Any politician who lost their relevance, au revoir. And I've been praying. I cannot tell, as an analyst, the political relevance to APC of Minister Nyesom Wike beyond 2027.
Well, let's see how that goes, though. Barrister, what does this hold for our politics in Nigeria? Innocent rightly said that Nyesom Wike has given us a template. Lamido Sanusi had equally said that he remains with the PDP but would work for the ADC. Is this the best bet for us in this country? Is this how we would continue going forward?
It is not the best, but that is the way we are practicing our democracy, and it's being applauded by those in authority because it's favoring them. And that's why those who are planning to go to ADC now, except they are contesting. That's what I've seen in them now. If you are not going to contest, but majority of them will not leave their party, and they'll be working for the other party. They say if Minister Wike can be in APC and in PDP and openly declare that will be working for APC, they can also be in ADC and in PDP and work for ADC. So they first said that because our system is not working, we don't have a law. You see, I align with innocent position regarding if you defect. In fact, we need to change our law to make it automatic. No condition must be attached to it. Because bearing in mind that if you look at the case of Kogi State when Audu died, what the court said, the issue, no, not even that time. I remember there was a time they said the court made a pronouncement that the votes belonged to the party,
yes,
and not to the candidates.
Yeah.
So if the vote belongs to the party, if I'm leaving that party, I must drop the votes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So automatically I have to lose my position because you do not have that vote. That vote belongs to the party. So if you are now moving from that party to another party, you must drop that vote. But today it's no longer effective because in fact in our law it's only the National Assembly member and National Assembly member that are even required to resign if they move from one party to another. As a governor, as a president, there is nothing in our law that says you must relinquish your position. But I'm saying whether or not it's in our law, it should be a thing of in other words, how do I say it? Automatic application.
Yes.
That since the court said the vote belong to the party, so if you are leaving that party, you will not live with their vote. You will drop the vote, and then they will get somebody else to hold the vote for them, and you will go to where you are going. But it's not the case today. It's very free. we are very free to go, especially in the National Assembly. If people that are moving are members of the party in control at National Assembly or House of Assembly, you will do it freely without any challenge. But if you are from another party, it may be challenged. So for me, we have a system that's not working. And unfortunately, too, Nigerians, they praise politicians who can manipulate. Those are the people they see as strategic politicians. Once you can manipulate, you can influence, they see you as proper, that you are the one that knows how to play the game. So if you are playing the game, if you are doing it the way it should be done, following the rule and law or whatever, you are not a good politician as far as Nigerians are concerned. That's what's giving them that before now, he doesn't know how to play politics. That's why it's dragging. As he's aligned now, he's now learning the way of playing politics. They will even ask them to go to school of actual politics to learn. So for me, once you celebrate this kind of a thing, where you can manipulate election, you can manipulate a system, and you are being praised as being smart, then you will see more of this.
Very, very true, Barrister. Yes, thank you so very much. And I think we just have to leave it for now. Innocent, I'd love to have your pattern shot on that particular story, especially with regards to the state of Edo State right now with Monday Okpebholo. Do you see Edo State doing fine with what you have, maybe with people you've had the opportunity of speaking to? Well, how is Edo State now?
Well, I can even say that I'm more like an indigenous of Edo. Okay. Yeah, you know, of course that's not the state my father is from, but I mean a place you go to frequently. Edo gave birth to Delta State. Delta is on the run, you know. I wish that Edo, I mean, should, you know, Edo is beautiful. There is that lovely town called Auchi. As soon as you look at it while arriving in a vehicle, it has a lovely landscape on hills and rocks, massive tarred roads. So Edo, if you ask me, Governor Monday Okpebholo, congratulations. He has assembled some level of good team of professionals, I must say. But if I were him, I'll focus in maybe freeing that big town, Benin City, from flood whenever it rains. A large chunk of the town gets submerged. You know, you can look at dealing with drainage issues, like we mentioned, God rest his soul, President Buhari, something you will be remembered for. People don't need to die before they are remembered for something. In Lagos today, there is something people remember Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola for. He doesn't have to die. He's alive. Whatever side of the divide you are, there is something people remember His Excellency Governor Akinwumi Ambode for. In fact, the Ambode testimonies are in infrastructure revolution are all over. So if I were modest of God, he came in early and should sink that youthful energy in certain things that will bring him relevance. That's my he should be peaceful. Take the state by the horn, rid Edo of flooding and all of that. Get your states very rich agricultural land for that matter. You know, get them viable and running. If I were him, and possibly with this 8 years mentality we have, I will create a second city. You know, many states where, like Barrister from Kwara, Ilorin, you wonder, is there a second city there? So if Benin is here, let there be a second city you are known to have raised, you know, in relevant infrastructure.
Because I would love to believe that there's a reason why all of these things have been, you know, dissected. We have 3 senatorial zones in every state.
Yes.
Ordinarily, those 3 senatorial zones should be cities on their own, such that anyone from whichever senatorial zone necessarily doesn't need to find himself in the city center to do anything he would love to do.
Well, I'll give you the answer in 10 seconds. In Nigeria, there are governors who live in Abuja and govern from there. The same way in each state, there are senators of 3 senatorial zones who live only in the state capital. Can you see that microcosm? So, but if each of the zone, look, that's why I like place. I'm sorry, I'm getting longer. If you go to Anambra, Onitsha is a big place. Yes. You don't need to be in Oka alone. Even Oyo, Ogbomosho is big. If you go to Abia, Aba is on its own. You don't need to be in Umuahia. You know, so states should start looking at. There are many states. After that one, if you live in Enugu, where will you call the second? Nsukka or Jiri, you know. If you live like he knows, I don't know if it is. He can tell us the barrister. So the governor of Edo State should focus on that. Most towns in Nigeria gain prominence just by the citing of higher institutions. Yes. And they will tell you, Ekpoma, there is a higher. Even the great Ife is a university town. If that university goes on holiday, fly away, Peter. Fly. So the governors should help us and raise up second cities that are already there. Not just coming to the state capital in nature, you paint road black and white. The governor should be remembered for something noble. Especially, you can see, give or take, there are people shouting acrimony in the way he ascended power. And like you would say, look at the Enugu governor. While you are complaining, he was not. He's delivering infrastructure.
He has killed every perception that people had that he wasn't the one that won the election.
Yeah, you know. So
because of his good works,
Okpebholo should. I think. Let me go to Brands.
You know, running and more. But of course, just like I did.